No, this is not a painting I've painted for this episode. This is actually the first painting I painted that started this whole series. Well, I didn't start the whole series, but it was the first painting, and I want to revisit this painting now and see how far I have come with the help of the Tisch Academy. Now, the drawing for this painting I already made at the start of this series. I made 2 drawings right away with the intention, of course, to make one painting at the start and then one painting at the end so that I could compare them. Though the idea was never to do it with oil paint, but I'm gonna paint this in oil paint. And it is on acrylic paper, but thankfully on the Royal Talens van Gogh paper in the back it says also suitable for oil paint, so that is good. And if I would change papers, and I'll show you that later on, then I would get a total different comparison. So I think it's more fair, even if it wouldn't be suitable, I still would have painted it on this paper, so that it is a fair comparison. And one thing I noticed right away with painting on this paper is that it is very different from the previous papers I used. I used oil paper before, and then the paint really moves, but with this paper, the oil paint reacts a bit more like gouache, I would say. And that makes the comparison even more fair, since the original painting was painted with acrylic gouache, so nice comparison. And to make the comparison even more fair, I'm using inexpensive brushes that are just general brushes, and to my surprise they actually worked pretty well for this painting. Now, the difference between this painting and the acrylic right away, of course, is this painting. Once I have this first layer on the paper, it needs to dry, because I can't paint on it, then it would mix and keep on blending. And with the acrylics, I could just continue. And in this video, I'm only gonna show you my first layer, since I don't have to come close up for details, and that works with filming fine. And at the end of this speed up video, I'm gonna show you some slides too of the rest of the process. Now, there is one difference between this painting and the previous painting. Well, there's more than one difference, but the main difference is I'm not using the same colors. For the first one, I picked my own colors. For this painting, I'm now painting with the Tisch colors, since I'm used to those through the academy, through learning. So I'm just having that selection of colors, which is different from my selection would be. Yeah, that would be very different, but I don't think I'm going back to my own selection. After going through the academy, I do understand a lot more about colors, and also that the paints that you pick, in the end, they will determine what the painting will look like. Now, I'm getting pretty much to the end of this painting, at least the first layer. The other layer, I'm going to take my time painting, and that's the nice thing about editing video. I can just add it later on and even add a comparison. So once I'm done painting the first layer, I will show you just a bit of slides, and they should come up pretty soon, and then you can see a bit more of the progress of how I built up this painting, how I added all the details, the water, the clouds, changed the background, the midground and the foreground, and of course brought in the details until this painting was completely done. And here are the 2 paintings side by side. This one before I started the Tisch Academy, and this one after I gone through a major part of the Tisch Academy. And I'm gonna say this right away, probably. This one I would keep in my private collection. That sounds good, huh? Private collection. This one I would not have an issue selling. Now, I would varnish it first, because then the colors are gonna come out a lot more and the depth will come out even better. But I wouldn't have a problem selling this one. This one, now I'm gonna keep. And I think the main difference, I think you can easily see this. The colors here are way more natural than they are here, and the depth is way better in this painting than it is actually here, because this has a nice midground and this all blurs into the background from the midground. There's no separation between the colors, and I think that is the main part here, the separation between the colors, the more natural colors that add more depth. And then of course, then there's the water. This is transparent water, and that is really one of the things I wanted to learn, and now I'm happy to say that I accomplished that. And this is, it's water, perhaps a little bit transparent there, but the color, this is way better. And just all the color nuances and the harmony, I think this is all matching, and there's a harmony in this, and this is all, well, not perhaps fighting, but kind of fighting each other. And that is what I really like about this. So the Tisch Academy has helped me to advance a lot in getting forward with my painting. Have I become a master? No, I'm not sure if I'm going to say that. I guess I'm going to leave the audience to judge that, although in my own opinion I would say, no, I'm not yet a master, but I'm definitely way closer than what I was when I started. And that of course was my main goal with the Tisch Academy, trying to become a master at painting. And along the way, some switches, some different approaches, learning about color, about the harmony, the contrast, the depth, how to do certain techniques has helped me a lot to get a lot closer. Now, this is the acrylic paper, but if I compare that to something like this, which was done on the oil paper, and I think you can pretty much also see the difference between this and this, how much more luminous this is, how much the highlights work way better. And this is about as good as I could get with this one. So the materials definitely do make a difference, although I think this has a certain charm, like almost, yeah, like I said already, like a gouache painting. This is definitely oil painting. This will be way closer to a gouache painting. Both have that charm, but if I would choose, I think this is the better choice of paper to work on. Paints are the same, but the paper makes a huge difference. All right, well, that's it for this video. I'm going to leave you, with all these thoughts I just shared about it. And I'm just happy, very happy with the progress I made. And of course, I'm not going to stop with making progress. I'm going to challenge myself to go even further than I've already gone now in this year.